Oh man, they down bad, y'all. World champion Amanda Serrano, she actually vouches for Gervonta Tank Davis. She gives her own experience and lets the public know that having long hair, having braids or whatnot, and also being a boxer, she went through the same thing that Gervonta Davis went through in this now infamous Greasegate situation where he was forced to take a knee in the middle of the fight per something in his eye, right? Amanda Serrano, she responds to a social media post where it says Gervonta Davis says he took a knee in the 9th round because there was grease in his eye from his hair. He says, dang, why y'all booing like I'm saying bullish, right? And he was explaining post-fight on the mic what happened and why he was forced to take a knee. Now, this wasn't good enough to some people. Some people, because of their hatred for Gervonta Davis, they said he shouldn't have said nothing. He should have just sat there and not told the truth and not explained when being asked in a post-fight interview what went on. He should have just sat there silent and gave the world no explanation. The whole sequence of event was bizarre. I don't think most people, even his corner or the fans or the ref, truly knew what was going on. It was bizarre, you know what I mean? And it's so funny because so many people have disdain for Tank that people are trying to turn this into this huge controversy. Ish happens in the sport of boxing. I think Steve Willis, I'm not going to slight him. He's a great referee. And in the heat of the moment, you are in charge of everything. If you make the wrong call, which some people said he did do, cool. But what I'm saying is when you have 20,000 fans, raucous crowd, and the next move, whether you say disqualification, knockdown, it wasn't a knockdown, it all is on your shoulders, spur of the moment, and you don't even know what's going on. Like, for real, we've seen boxers do bizarre stuff, like Oliver McCall. In the Lennox Lewis rematch, he just quit and started crying, right? Quit in the middle of the fight. So no one knew what was even going on with Tank, because how could we? He says something was in his eye. We don't see through the POV of fighters, so there was no way for us to detect it until he told us this. So to me, it always sounded logical, whether you like the execution or how it was handled. It was actually smart of Tank because Lamont Roach is a good fighter and he was punching. He wasn't, he was letting them fly, right? So he wasn't there just waiting. If there was a vulnerable moment for Tank, he probably would have tried to hit Tank. And if he had impaired vision, Tank did what he had to do in that given moment, took a knee. It looked weird, but it caused enough chaos and confusion, taking the knee, popping back up, and then running to the ring and yelling something to your team, and they come with the towel, and then he got back to work, and then the referee admonished him like, hey, don't do that. Like, bro, I didn't know what was up. I had to start doing a count, right? Again, human error. No one knew what was going on. Doesn't happen all the time in boxing, but it made for a controversial story. No more, no less. I'm not going to bash the referee and say he's horrible, because how many times have you messed up at your job, right? It's that simple. Have you never, like, if you work with customers, you've never made a mistake? You're just perfect. You know, I have a hard time believing you have a job that requires any level of thinking or any level of skill, and you just a 100% accuracy rating, never made any mistake, never forgot to call a customer back, never, if you're a mechanic, never forgot to put someone's the little caps on the wheel spokes, you know what I mean, when you were doing something and adding new tires or checking the tire pressure. It's very hard for me to believe that. Anywho, Amanda Serrano comes in and she attests to this whole circumstance, and now the Tank haters look miserable. Amanda Serrano says, 1 year ago today, I had to cancel my homecoming fight in Puerto Rico for the same mistake. Getting my hair done 2 days before and then it burning my eyes from a run before the fight. Never again. My natural hair is just fine, ladies. So she's telling you that she was doing a run, maybe cutting weight, last minute, got her hair done, and same thing. The hair done, chemical, sweat and workout, makeup, whatever, all of these things, and it bled into her eye. And I remember the fight she's talking about. She was in Puerto Rico. It was Jake Paul fighting a guy from my way in the 707. This dude's from Vallejo, right? And they were fighting in Puerto Rico, and Amanda Serrano was the co-feature, and she couldn't come out. And she was wearing glasses, and basically she's Puerto Rican, supposed to be fighting on the island, and she had to disappoint all those fans for the similar mistake we now know. So I love it. The Tank haters are looking dumb. Once again, this is what happens when you don't keep it real. This is what happens when you have hate in your heart, right? All I did was cover this storyline. I told you, yes, you can say the wrong call was made or should have been a knockdown and stuff like that. But boxing fans have so much hate and disdain for Tank that they're going above and beyond. They're calling the commission, they're snitching, they're calling Congress, they're writing letters, they're asking for the fight to be appealed and overturned. Listen, the man in charge is the referee. You must abide and listen to his instructions. He did and operated in good faith in the best way he knew how to, given a weird situation that was thrown at him. No more, no less. Tank made an executive decision, which actually helped him because it bought him the time he need. And instead of fighting with a compromised eye and vision issues, he did what he did, took the knee. It looked weird. People are like, it could have been disqualified because his team, engaged and interacted with the fighter in real time. Guess what? They didn't do it. It's like boxing fan, that would make you happy? You just want Tank disqualified and 20,000 people go home on a DQ? Again, I understand it. Whether you like it or not, I understand it. A referee's in charge. Okay, he's like DQ'd. And now people are rioting in the crowd because they didn't like the decision to disqualify a star. That is a lot of pressure. So I try to humanize the sport. I can't really bag on anybody from Tank to Lamont Roach. Lamont Roach didn't even look like he knew what was going on. He knew he didn't hit Tank with the shot that caused all that, right? So I don't think Lamont Roach, if you look at the picture, he didn't go to celebrate. He didn't run to the neutral corner and wave his arms in the air like, yeah, I got him. He looked as confused as the referee. So things like this happen. Shout out to Amanda Serrano for being realistic and sharing with the world that she too experienced a very similar problem in her past fight. And she's just lending credence to what Tank already told you. He's like, I'm keeping it real with y'all. Why are y'all mad? I'm keeping it real. That's what happened. And people, for their own private agenda, they're trying to make this into a big deal. It happened. It was freakish. I highly doubt it'll happen again. We learn and we move on. Live streaming can be tough, which is why I use StreamYard. Click the link in the description for StreamYard, which is an awesome tool that enables you to set up your stream with ease of use. Get great results with live streaming. It's what I use. Stream to social media with ease with StreamYard. Live streaming is here to stay. Engage with your audience using StreamYard. Great way to reach out to your audience and connect. So you need a tool that can do that.